start streaming and see if this works. Oh, here it is. All right, it's coming in. Cool. So let me see. Sometimes it's hard to find the link to a live stream on YouTube. So let me see if I can find mine.
Yeah, it doesn't show up on just your channel.
Yeah, I know. It's sort of weird. Just going through on my dashboard trying to find it. Go live, blah, blah, blah. Options. Here we go. I'm gonna mute myself in this voice channel here so that I don't make a looped sound.
Okay.
There's also like a bunch of some buzzing and whatnot, and that's from the original video.
We're on a bit of a delay.
Of course.
I'm saying, like, in the live stream, though, like, I can hear myself talk about 10 seconds after what I just said.
Oh, right. I forgot that it's going to pick up on that sound.
Is there something I can do about that?
Let me, can I make it? I'm not sure if I can split the audio, actually. Maybe I can.
I could also just type in the live stream chat.
And
Whichever you prefer.
I could also mute the game
I mostly
sound,
just don't want to have you hear what I say twice. That seems confusing.
I don't hear it twice,
as
but
fuck,
you guys
know?
will hear it twice. I'm not sure how to otherwise just take the audio from
I
one
had
program.
2 live streams open so I could hear myself like 4 fucking times.
Audio output capture.
I'm hearing backpack over and over again. There you go again.
Well, here, no. So I just muted desktop audio, so we won't have the game sound. We won't have game sound, but we also won't have a loop. Or will we? Maybe we will if you speak. No. It shouldn't pick up any audio except for my voice. And I can still hear the game sound, so. Yeah, I can hear game sound and you guys speaking, but you guys should be able to hear only my voice right now. If I spent like, 20 minutes messing with the options, maybe I could split it. But I'd rather just get into looking at it. Oh, thank you. I do a bunch of scrubbing back and forth. Some fights will probably change the playback speed. Yeah, I think these are all comp games that US played. No, it's fine. Yeah, that's essentially what I do after a little bit. There was an Ana. Alright, so let's go back. What is it like having to reset or something? Here right now I have it slowed down at half speed, but that's not what you mean. So just watch this a few times. So you're firing at the shield. So pressuring shield. This reflect is obviously huge, and they feed it for no particular reason. Dash to kill the Junkrat, jump off of his body, finish the discorded tank. Alright. Not sure where Zarya killed Zen actually, but alright, let's go back up to normal speed here. Ana is alone, she's kind of screwed at that point. And and she missed the she missed her grenade while you were on the wall, which meant that it's safe to close, because the worst that can happen is what did happen, which is you get slept, which isn't that bad when there's only 2 of them up. I mean, the dash, like, it gets way better if there are multiple damaged people in a row where you can swap between them quickly, because it does damage the whole line. Yep, good to get behind. Yeah, let's go back. Yep, I'm going back to it. Right here, you're kind of, so yeah, he could have gotten punished here, absolutely. In fact, I mean, he goes to 13. And then he gets saved by his supports. So, no. I mean, ult comes up. Wham, wham. Maybe I should set it so that you guys can hear my voice on Discord, so that you can get my replies. There. You're going to double hear me now, but you'll hear my responses to you instantly. Tell me if it's which way is better. Alright, let's go back again. Alright. Yeah, it's the start of the next engagement that I want to see here. Yeah, he's asking to take the damage there. He was nearly punished. Alright. Get some damage in. Discord is OP. Winston doesn't actually... Yeah, I mean, they're just sort of scrambling now to try to stay on point. Yeah, this is just cleanup. Junkrat got very greedy trying to get his ult off in the middle of your team. Did not work out for him. I don't actually like destroying these barriers, because they do actually help you sometimes. Yeah. They block a single shot each, and it sort of depends which ones. They like it depends kind of where it is on the map because there are a lot of barriers that are like neutral and where it might make sense to remove it to destroy the enemy's chance, but ones that are on your defensive territory. Getting in and not getting stunned or slept is pretty nice. Ooh. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say you should have died there, but then you do die in a little bit. That was a good life, though. I mean, it's obviously nice to get in on the back line and not really take too much damage. He didn't know that Zarya was there when he dove the Ana. Good. Yep, so it's nice to go after the two squishies. Feed about 100, 200 into Ana, or into barrier, but Zarya panics and misses all of her shots. Yeah, that was nice playing for time and going for the heads of squishies. That's exactly obviously what Tracer wants to be doing. And they never really gathered the punish on you. Yep. So let's go back here again. So right here is kind of where I want to see you throw the ultimate. You delayed it, and it like they had time to think about it. It was a Tracer. Let's get out of here. Blam. I don't know. But you did get it off quickly, even though it didn't get the kill there. With Pharah on the roof, it's sort of not safe to be here. Yeah, okay. Nice, nice. He shouldn't have let you out. But he did not headshot you while you were stunned. And that leads into all this free damage. There you go. This time he didn't mess it up. So 90% on this next ult. Which is essentially up. Not quite so close that you need to actually save jumps for it, though. Get the hell out of there with this code on you, and okay, I'm fine. Yeah, probably should have jumped away as soon as the Discord got on you, because it's just... Tracer's so easy to one-shot anyways. Now you know that McCree's ult is down, which means it's a lot safer for you to go on him. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Squishies separated from each other. Good stuff. They didn't really try to punish you all that well ever. There was once... What's this last character gonna pick? looks like Zarya. I think they went Zarya. Yeah, a little greedy to reload there, and it does cost you some health. I liked the reflexes on going onto the turret immediately. That's almost always the correct way to deal with the turret. But right, reloading there was cost you. Ooh, Torb should have hammered you. I guess he was scared because he saw the Zarya coming behind, which we couldn't see. Reinhardt's not very good against Tracer. So you actually, alright, so it looks like from the sound of it here, you thought that there's an enemy got pulled, but they did not. Coming to get some free damage on Torb. Again, ooh, okay. Got baited into the turret, but more like Torbjorn can actually fight you. He fails to completely, but the character is capable of it. I like using ultimate to clear turrets, especially when you can take out the Torb as well. I mean, this is over. This is just a Reinhardt on point. Lucio's not going to last long. Good track while he's wall riding, although he wasn't getting too tricky. Yep, I like stopping your fire when you realize you're no longer on him. But this is just the trickle in effect, you know? They're just diving in. Yeah, that was over for a while. Torb for defense. So let's skip forward and see where you try to set up. Yeah. Okay, good. I was gonna say I do want to see taking pot shots at the corner scene. Not really sure whether Genji thinks he's accomplishing at this point. Once he got partway across the ledge there, he should have realized it was not really safe for him to try for the point. I almost... It depends on whether you have other teammates able to pressure the shield. Yeah. If Winston's shield is so fragile that it's sort of a little different, but... Not sure what that Maywall is doing. Ouch. So you die with a lot of scrap built up. This could have all been armor packs. You sort of shoot some out near the end. No, that's just your death, actually. Your turret goes down. Yep. Ulting here saves your life completely. I almost always prefer pressure to defending the turret, but I'm not a Torb main. Got another armor to throw, I think, in a second. Yep, close range. The Symmetra turret, I guess, got that. Ouch. Okay. I'd like to, yep, oh, punch him. There we go, finally. Emoting. I mean, the headshots from Torb's gun are so nice. But again, they're doing the whole trickling in 2 at a time thing again now. They've been doing this for the last like minute and a half at least. Should target the thing. Yep, Hanzo gets it. Good. But again, so like they just lost 2 people within the last 45 seconds, and now there's like they're wasting a Zenyatta ult to 2-man onto the turret. I'm not sure about this. Yeah, they just spent like the last 6 minutes doing nothing. And I think a lot of that particular game again went down to, yeah, lovely typical tankless god. I think a lot of that game went down to just landing some headshots with a long range high damage weapon, and then them getting like dribbling in like 4 at a time or 5 at a time or 3 at a time, and never really being able to do something against you guys together. And I think a lot of that's just the attitude that a lot of people have in ranked games, which is like, I've got to be the one to carry it. So like I'm alive, so I've got to like make something happen now. And they didn't. They just fed ultimate charge while gaining slightly less. So let's see. I always like jumping for the free damage to try to check. I don't actually like double jumping a lot in here because that's your remaneuvering option. Especially in an area with so many walls, there's no real need to double jump to get that maneuverability. Yeah, closing on a Mei is kind of risky. And then being surprised by a stun at the end of it obviously locked it up, but... yeah, you still hear him in there, so... yeah, you guys definitely did not realize. It's alright. They dribble in again. So that's plenty. Tilted because your team called you out on not hearing the Mei. You should die here? Yeah. Okay. It's a little greedy. Maybe you should have tried to get behind Reinhardt instead, but instead of going into unexplored territory. It's hard to say. If we go back a little. let's go back to the attack on objective B here. Go warp in. This is not really the range to be trying to trade with a Torb and a turret, but so right here, take some damage, you're forced to warp out, and then you cross here. I like this spot, but coming, yeah, okay, hello, ouch. So do we ever see where the McCree starts when we're coming in here? So Torb, back out, Anna, Mercy. I don't think so, but the resolution is, I can't actually tell. Yeah. Mercy got stuck on the corner there. So like this whole thing here, this worked out super well because you didn't get punished, which I like. And I like throwing, like, damaging Ryan while he's in transit. McCree just needed to, like, headshot you at one point during any of that, obviously, for this to go a completely different way. It's one of these things. McCree thought that you were hunting him when you were hunting Mercy, and so he let you get behind him, not predicting you would go behind. Wham. Okay, so Reinhardt actually cleans you up here. The McCree, like, must be firing low. Yes, that's true. That's definitely true. Forcing him to choose a direction is important. This 28 points here, he just, like, obviously had chances on you. The Torb could have punished you there and elected not to. Trying to use the invuln time. Happened to land in front of the new turret. That's nice. Let's go back again. Let's see this. I think you're right that the punching is obviously more spike damage. Yeah, I know. There's more spike damage, like, at that moment, but less total damage less average damage over time. So it's best, obviously, when you can actually finish them, or when someone else can actually finish them. Here, you sort of got a little greedy because you didn't realize, I think, maybe you did, where the McCree was ulting from, and then you managed to use your E to dodge getting punished, but there was a window where you could have gotten it before the Winston shield went down. Let's see some soldier. A lot of with the diving characters of Genji and Tracer that we're seeing is that they're just not taking the opportunity to kill you when they could as a squishy. Or at least to force you out. That Reinhardt fired really early unless they have a Lucio. Fair above is your job. I think I saw that. Is that what I saw? Is that a Pharah going above, or did I see something else? Oh, no. That was Genji jumping over the wall, maybe? And then Widow going on top. But she failed. I see. Okay. It's a little hard to see, compared to actual in-game resolution. Owned. So you knew the Widow was there. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Alright, so let's go back at this life here again. So here, you start... No, here. You throw down the healing thing, which actually could have cost you. She had a window here, but she wasn't looking at you. You get the pick. Pip, pip, pip. Oof. Alright, so, yeah, now you don't have your healing thing up, but I don't think that it would have helped you. So, obviously Doomfist finishes you here, but I just want to... So you get some damage. Get knocked, jump away from the barrel. I guess I'm not sure I love pushing past here, right here, where you go forward. Here you just denied your protection from the tank zone. And then they split you. Teleporter. So they should know where it is now, though they might not have called it out. I don't know what Widow's looking at. Again, like their Widow said thank you there. Now this isn't about something you did, but when their Widow says thank you here, I don't think you should communicate things with sound effects that the enemy team gets to hear. Yeah, it's a little awkward. It's good to get it off though. And trading with Mercy is obviously worth it. But yeah, no, I agree. The Ryan came very close to totally denying it and still mostly did. So here there's another kill on the Mercy who was not clear what she was trying to do. She's flying to the back of the point. With Junk zoning this corner, yeah. What is Junkrat doing here? Do you get... So you see, you turn, you see 4, immediately run, which is correct. Get behind Reinhardt, which is arguably where you should have been already, but... I like going for the free damage. That's a huge ultimate from... So this is why I don't like this aerial movement, because once you commit, you once you commit to an aerial movement, you know, you're kind of stuck very close to that trajectory. So any competent DPS can get in a lot of free damage. Same with Reinhardt right there, similar principle to the Junkrat jumping over the wall. Getting in your free damage. And again, like, Junkrat commits to a movement and placement of himself that ends up not necessarily being optimal. It doesn't immediately punish him here because it's hard to quite get that last little bit of health, but that's one on point. The turret's kind of covering it though. Yeah, you don't really need to be here, but okay. Pretty huge from drunk. Yeah, let's go back and look at it. Let's go back and look at it. Oh, do you mean the? You mean the first tack visor, or do you mean the second tack visor? Yeah. Okay. Must be. So this is the first tack visor now. All right. Well, let's look at both of them because they were both. I'll also go back to the other one after this. So get the rocket off, but you see that Ryan's on front, and I think when you called ult here, you sort of thought that you were gonna get behind them. So like I thought, it looks to me like you were sort of thinking, okay, get this off, ult, and somehow get behind them there. But you went to the health pack, and that let the Ryan be in front relative to you. I think if you'd gone out behind him, it maybe could have tricked him up. But Ryan mostly whiffs this one. Mercy sort of gets split between you and the Junkrat. And then she has to choose a side to run towards. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're close enough together that Ryan can cover it. Yeah, that's very true. I think basically he was baited in by how open they were when he got the peek from above with the rocket that got the ult to come up. Alright, so here's slow motion of the second tack visor decision. 30 seconds left. Junk dies to regular damage. So you peeked and turns out there was another guy next to the McCree to the left in addition to the guy to the right, so had to pick out. McCree's retarded. I mean, he's feeling the time pressure, but now this should be over. They just lost 2. D.Va's about to run out of her blocking. Right, Junkrat gets behind cover, realizing that he shouldn't have come out. And try to get behind because you don't want to point at D.Va anymore. So he kind of had no choice, and Mercy just happened to be there. Yeah, and then finish this off, and that's the game. You were between the Junkrat and the D.Va. This is the first time on defense that you've actually left spawn at the top of the round. Nice that he didn't use that cover enough. Speculating on headshots from behind Orion's shield is always lovely. I like going for D.Va for ult charge instead of, at this range, spending too much time on Lucio because it lets Winston finish that up. Yeah, he's alone in the middle of 3 of you. He's going to die to someone's headshot. Again, a lot of like 1 to 2 early picks, and then their team keeps fighting as though they haven't had any picks against them. Which is what this whole fight has continued to be since the top of the round. It's pretty risky going on the ground there. Very risky. So, let's see. Can smell out an opportunity for an ultimate. Do you guys have one on payload? Winston comes up to try to 1v1 you. Kind of awkward, but you don't actually get punished. Yep. They did have the opportunity to punish you at the top of that and prevent that whole ult from happening, but they did not take it. Should be visible on the ledge if Mercy wants to come up. Winston's always do this. I often see Winston's try to dive damage characters, and like they don't usually actually win those fights. At least if you're calm and somewhat accurate. Again, this just continues to be a fight where like they start the fight 2 people down. Getting to freely fire at tanks like this is always really nice as a DPS. You go from like 12% to 55%. But again, this continues to be that they force engagements when they're down 2 or more people. Like they have no need to force it. Reaper's not a good character, I don't think. Yeah, I agree. I think Mercy was trying to get something going and was excited to be able to use her ult on payload, but yeah, I think that's true. To coordinate people, make it obvious what it is you're quote unquote supposed to be doing. Reaper getting behind you because you were tracking on Winston here, but let's see this again. D.Va goes past you. You hear Reaper for a bit, but you're in the middle here. I guess once they actually get the payload here, you should just get the fuck out. Like you dove in, I guess, to try to contest, not realizing it would be yeah, too late. My dog is trying to walk through all my cables. Yeah. I think he thought he would be able to contest before it actually got the checkpoint. I like waiting until the shield runs out, until you use the soldier ult. obviously feels great. Again, a lot of the ways these fights have gone continue to be the same, where they have a slightly early start and then they continue to force it because they feel like we're on attack, we have to force the fight, which is good. I mean, that's why one of the reasons picks are good. But so here they're forcing this fight with 4, I think, right now, but not the kill cam. Scary. It's a little greedy to go for the, well, not greedy, not the wrong term. I'm not sure it's right to go for the punch there, even though I'd be tempted to do it as well. He's actually in range of it. You think you're about to die either way. Trying to finish the reload. Maybe that would have been the greedy option, trying to finish the reload. I'm not sure. So I think so here, yeah, get a bunch of free damage on Diva. It brings your ultimate up. I liked that rocket, even though the first piece I think maybe did get absorbed. But then here, basically Ana completely saves you like 7 times. So you're in line of sight of 3 people. Winston lands on you. You drop your healing. But it shouldn't be enough against just him. You try to run. And then here, Ana saves your life. Then here she does it again. I guess what I would have liked to have instead seen is using this corner originally. Not this one, but the one further forward than this. To try to just pick their leftmost person with some free damage. Because being in sight of 3 and 4 people at a time almost costs you a life. And since you have Soldier ult up, it's a pretty big deal. Go behind, kill the squishies. Yep. Lucio is quick enough, like aware enough to pop his ultimate though. And from the kill cam there, you actually see that Reaper is at 83% ultimate after killing you. So you should, in a few seconds here, be prepared to call out that the Reaper's about to ult. Yeah, he's desperately trying to survive to his ultimate. Okay, good. So he doesn't be able to find a good spot because he's isolated. Fair keeps trying to like be in the air and take pot shots at your team, like not realizing there's no cover in the air. I'm not sure what that's about. I think she's just used to people not being able to hit her while she's flying. But you're not the only one on your team that's been able to hit her while she's flying. She keeps getting punished for it. Let's see. I think one of the common stories I'm seeing though is that the opposing teams keep forcing fights when they're down people. Like, yeah. This will go up on the channel. I can also send you the actual video files if you want to. Alright, cool. So let's back up to this approach again. So, could try to pick at the edges of the shield here. when you see that the Ana is visible at the start. Going in, I think, is very greedy here. Right here. Yeah, I know he's gone. I'm still recording this, like, in one block, though, to have it recorded. I actually have the first game of the series I recorded before joining you guys to watch the match. So here, you should have died to Zarya, essentially, and Reinhardt. But Reinhardt wasn't auto-attacking, and Zarya wasn't accurate enough. Yep, coming up once the Ryan leaves is obviously does seem good. Mercy's with you. I don't know why they haven't. Yeah, just the soldier turning around to try to deal with you, but you're not alone anymore. I don't know, that was a little strange. I don't really feel like they needed to push. This is a pretty dangerous spot. Okay, he's still running because your teammate's chasing. But without your dash up there, let's go back again. So here, they've pushed past you. They know you're behind. You hear your own Winston come up behind you. And he comes in. Ryan is shielding. He gets cornered and killed. Like soldier sort of split away from his Reinhardt. Sorry, I already used bubble on soldier, so she can't protect Ana, and Ana doesn't actually get a sleep off. So they basically just got split up because you and Winston came from one side and your teammates came from the other. But I think if their soldier had retreated to work with the Rhine, and Ana might have been able to keep the Winston alive, or keep the Reinhardt alive, that would have been a lot harder for you. Yep, getting out. It's a little, yeah, I'm gonna say greedy to go for this free damage here, and it proves so. I thought you might get slept, but they didn't even need to sleep. So, Dragon Blade. Their soldier's ulting. Staying out of his line of sight, using the building. Yep. And then, because they've let somebody go down, you have a window. Yep. I like you can immediately instead of waiting for a better spot. There's no reason to, wait for more. Especially when you're so close to the checkpoint. Having 3 people chasing you while the payload gets to the checkpoint, like what are they doing? Again, this Pharah acting like she has cover in the air when she doesn't. It almost costed you either incorrectly using your here, let's see. So finish off the Mercy here, and then you do a dash trying to get in on the Pharah. That doesn't actually pan out into anything, and having it down here is pretty awkward, but you do get the kill because she gets too close. And then you get a way out. Sorry, it doesn't really notice you. Yep, counter the AoE ult with an AoE ult. In this case, the AoE heal with the AoE damage. That should be game. To be expected a solo queue, but the opponents keep being very poorly coordinated. like when they had 3 people chasing you in their own base while you guys were getting checkpoint. Just... Or previously when their DPS were never landing headshots, like McCree. Part of his job is to give characters with 150 health. In the earlier match, not on the Genji match. Not sure what you're reflecting there, but I think you probably realize that's a mistake too. You don't need me to tell you that. Here, I'd like to see you use this wall on the left. It's a lot better than double jumping, because it's sort of like triple jumping. I guess, okay. No. Don't die to grenade, or to rockets. McCree has a better Pharah matchup, so that makes some sense. Ooh. That's just an input error, obviously. That was a good stun. Should have been lethal. Yeah, it should be. So, good stun. But then here you should be rolling out, not in, I think. Or maybe just keeping it up. Let's see. Yeah. Because you do have 2 friends on point, but that lack of mobility costs you here. Zarya's bubble hits you, Genji's shot hits you, and that gets you low enough to be dashed. A little too YOLO with the repositioning dash. Because though you had friends on point, they weren't actually in a position to zone for you. Yep, nice and clean once they start to fall. Fair is really bad against McCree in that situation. Yeah. And here, most of that fight, I think, comes down to right. So here at the top, try to get some free damage. You take some damage, D.Va gets in, and now they're split awkwardly. And this, or not split, their attention is split awkwardly, not their positioning. So here, you get the stun off. Lucio tries to get out because he's running away from D.Va. Yes, I absolutely think McCree ult was worth it to finish the Genji. Because it's a point capture. And because Genji can be, like, you don't want him somehow trolling you guys for, 14 seconds on point. I guess you did have a Winston in there, but I would be inclined to say it's the right choice, that one. Yep, keep the shield pressure. Got a little close to him there. He could have really punished you there with his ultimate or with his dash. He does end up killing you with it anyways, actually, amusingly. But right here, right, I don't think you should be closing. You shouldn't be trying to get back into the point through this archway. This is not safe. Now your roll is down and he sees it. So he tried to ult you, he missed, and he still managed to punish you with this. And of course, your Mercy has ultimate, but you can't res you because you went off edge. %, on another one. Looking for Pharah is correct. That dash was super greedy, and you're dead. Yeah, it's better to just give up a point here. You were 50% to the next ultimate, so I'm not sure I agree with the swap, but it's there's not much time left, and Tracer's pretty good in time pressure. And you weren't that close to ult. You were at like 50 something, I think. Yep, you guys outnumber him like 5-1. He's dead. Tracer's really good against Reinhardt. You should have ulted. You ulted a little late. So let's go here. 76%, 85%. Right here, just throw it. Just throw it immediately instead of punching. That cost you that. Again, now they're in a situation where they're just desperately, like, they're fighting you when they don't need to. They need to be regrouping. They're just fishing for free kills and just... Genji missed his dash there, which is pretty bad, because he should have killed you here. Again, they've lost 2. Yeah, and they're still fighting. Not correct. Like, there's no reason for Lucy to be contesting this. None. What is he doing? Fed a ton of charge Rosario, obviously, but you don't need me to tell you that. Trying to navigate while doing something else with your mouse hand is always funny. Don't die. Lol. Oops. Going in, despite having only 115 health, I mean, I understand wanting to get the damage off, and it ends up working out here because your team pushes them to route. But Genji, like, if there were a Genji with your skill on the other team, right, you probably would be a dead Tracer there. Diva tried to bump, that's cute. Almost dying because he's trying to say hi. Okay. Don't get knocked off because you don't. They definitely had a window to try to get you here. I think you heard a McCree in there. I'm not sure whose voice I heard breathing there, but. What was that, Tracer? Just trying to, not you, their Tracer just like tried to touch point as if that does something. Yep, I always love jumping across those because people often don't have the right mental timings in their head for where people can be. It's a little greedy to like stay here to observe your handiwork with the ult right here. There's no reason to do this. And it turns out you were, in fact, in view of somebody. Cursor placement's a little low, but... Yeah, okay. Genji finally gets the cleanup. Since hers is down and yours is not, you should win this. Got a little greedy trying to say hello, and so you delayed your own kill. Yep. It's gonna say is throw the ult as soon as it comes up, and indeed. It doesn't actually stick, but again, like here, there's a lot of like you're at 82 health in the middle of the team, and no one actually finishes you. And while you're getting your damage in, like while you're still alive, is to your credit. Staying alive is not to your credit. It's to their. It speaks to their failing. Yeah, so just dribble in some more, and that's it. And you force them to try to punish and remove you, but they keep not finding it. And I don't think it's because you're being tricky with your positioning. I think it's because their attention's poorly split or they're missing their shots. Like right here. Same thing again. Like you're taking a very aggressive position and you're only getting away with it because they're sort of failing. This is good. Reaper should die here to you. Yeah. Oh, okay, you didn't want to chase it. That makes sense. You're really low. Soldier should, I think, just fight you here. I don't think he accomplishes much by running away. Yeah, I think you died because you were trying to emote again. I prefer to save one dash when you're coming out of base on this map. Or whatever, it doesn't matter. Not actually. I was thinking of something with a different character. Yeah, always go on Mercy. Missed the throw, but I think it was right to go for it. Zenyatta is pretty decent against Tracers at that kind of range. So again, it's one of those situations where they could have punished you faster, but didn't. So, you know, getting in your damage while you're alive is your job, and that you've been doing. You're forced to rewind there because you took that hammer hit, which could have been awkward if Reaper were ready for you. Yep. I love headshotting divas in mech because it's so much ult charge and it's such a large target. So Ryan and Diva should be the last to respawn, which means that pushing here is relatively safe because you're likely going to be facing only squishies. Just warp backwards, yeah, to get the help path here. Widow killing that soldier was pretty nice. I don't think that was correct. I think you should have been going here trying to ult on the grouped up team that you saw from Widow ultimate. So right here, instead of waiting on this, I think you should have gone around that corner and tried to throw it on Mercy or something. Hope to hit 2 to 4 people depending how it panned out. Getting behind Ryan and Mercy. I'm not sure what Reaper is doing. Standing in the corner waiting. Diva's not aiming for your heads. She's aiming at your toes. She should be doing a lot more damage. Yeah, he absolutely could have headshot the Diva down before she could get into the mech. Or like while she's transforming. That's true. Instead of trying to ult. Like, he should kill you there. I see a lot of this. I see a lot of this. People not properly punishing. Or not even, like, really aiming for the attempt at the punish. You missed that turret behind you, so you know it's still up. Good. You do go back for it, but get punished by it still being up and Winston coming in. So that's sort of mostly just an accuracy issue. And for the most part, obviously, that's not been your problem. Yep. So the goal is to use one more clip to get your ultimate up and actually battle Winston the hard way. Or not the hard way, but all the way. That's how I would see that scenario anyways. Especially since you know their Mercy already used her ultimate. Back into a wall. Yummy, yummy. So they stayed group up more than they should have. And now this is one of those, another situation where they just have 2 or 3 people fighting against 6 people. I really do feel like McCree's just supposed to win this duel, even though this guy obviously couldn't. Yep, good. Find the children. No one else in your team is really able to. Yeah, Symmetra is not very good at keeping her beam, obviously, attached to a tracer. But now we're in a situation where they keep fighting uphill. Like, they don't have to force this fight. And they elect to anyways. I don't know. Sure, you die there because of a trap, but... Get a little closer, yeah. You could have just walked in here, but... Especially against tanks, I really like, especially against particular divas, probably more than any other tank. I like just like walking close to get more damage, to get better charge. You get charge up here, but it's on the second clip. And then now they're fighting uphill again. Ooh. So Mercy is still up though with the Winston, so you don't actually cap point there. I thought you guys did have it there. Hmm. The only effect that can heal despite being grenaded by Nana. Rewinding. They just like, look at this. Why is he alone here? He knows you guys have map control. They just do a lot of having people by themselves. Or forcing fights with not enough people present. Let's see. Yep, I like going behind, for sure. I was just about to say, I like taking the ledge here if you can, and McCree in fact was up there. Sounds like, from the ultimate. So let's go back here. Right here. You go behind. You get these kills. And here I'd want to see you just keep progressing across to go upstairs, instead of peeking into the point. GG. Oh, nope, Mercy ultimate. Basically GG though. Yeah. Good stuff, and that's the last of the games in that clip set that I have from you.